Alright guys, what's up? Today I'm going to show you a little hack or trick I've been using for a long time. It's just a disclaimer, it's not the ideal way to go about this, but this paper clip is a little trick I used. As y'all know, I buy a lot of used parts and hardware, and just on the fly, before I had a power supply tester, which I actually just bought. I've been using the paperclip method for a long time. But if you're buying a power supply and you just want to know if it actually works, without being able to read any of the voltages, which by the way, I definitely would advise you to get a power supply tester, because I mean this guy was like 15 bucks on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description, and it'll actually read all the voltages, to let you know if it's actually a stable power supply. Because if it's not, then it could fry some of your more important components and hardware, and you don't want to do that. So what I do just to test it, and now this one isn't sleeved, so you can actually see the colors of your cables. But say that it wasn't, let's I got it off and I have it unplugged from the power source. And I actually picked this power supply. I kind of got as a freebie thrown into a bundle deal I bought from somebody on Facebook Marketplace. But I picked this one to use for this video because it's actually RGB. So without me zooming in and moving my camera, y'all be able to see if it's turning on and working or not. But say yours isn't, it's covered up and you can't see the colors. On the clip side, the fourth wire from the right is green. That's the one you want to go into. So number 4. And then any of the black wires are it's just a ground is all that means when it's black. You want to go in one of those as well. Nothing special, it's just a bent paper clip, like it has to, of course, just be a bare metal one. You don't want one of those ones that are coated with some kind of plastic or rubber or whatever. But once you plug those in, again, make sure it's unplugged and turned off while you're doing that. Power supplies are really dangerous, especially like taking them apart and stuff. That's one thing I don't tinker with. It's just not worth the risk. But now that I've got that inserted, plug this up. And now we hit the power switch, and this will let me know if the power supply at least turns on and works. Again, it's not the most ideal way. You definitely want to get a little tester. But if I'm buying something, I can easily plug this in and make sure the power supply at least is active and turns on, so I don't just get completely ripped off. And we'll give her a little go. And boom. As you see, the power supply actually works, turns on, it's stable. What I used to do when I get them like this, I would leave it this way and just let it run for a little while to make sure that it is stable and it's not, defective. It's just a little hack I use. I thought it was kind of neat trick y'all might want to know when buying used hardware. Again, I would definitely I just got this, and I've used this trick for so long, I feel like kind of high tech now. But seeing that it was like 15 bucks, honestly, I should have got one a long time ago, because all this is letting me know is the power supply works and it turns on, but you need to know what voltage is coming out of every one of your cables. Like one of these could be surging or putting off too much voltage, or none at all. It could be dead, which wouldn't mean the power supply is useless to you, or even worse, could fry some of the components that you're hooking up to a computer, and then not only are you out of power supply, but you may have took your motherboard or graphics card out in the process, which is not a risk I'd be willing to run. But turn this off. I'll show y'all how the PSU tester works now. Go ahead. It's just got, you know, everything you need to plug into here. For starters, we'll just plug in the, you don't want to do this backwards either, by the way. It could make the power supply tester smoke, is what it says in the instructions. But you just plug in your 24 pin or 20 pin, whichever you have. And it should automatically come on. And I don't know if y'all can see that, but it gives you the voltage readout for every single, you know, like, it comes with the instructions. It'll tell you exactly what it needs to be reading. If it's blinking, the plus 12 V2, that's normal. If that's blinking, that's just because I don't have a 4 pin or 8 pin or a 6 pin plugged in. We'll go ahead and plug one of those in. See, as soon as I plugged that in, it stopped blinking. So this power supply is actually, it's a go. Which again, this was thrown in on a bundle deal, and as soon as I saw it had a clear fan blade on it, I was like, man, I wonder if this thing has RGB. Sure enough, when I got it home to test it, it's got red LED on it. So that's kind of interesting. I always thought it was kind of pointless, to be honest, because most of the time you can't see your power supply or the fan, really. It's usually facing down, so I always thought it was kind of weird to put RGB or LEDs on your power supply anyway. But again, it actually came in handy, because y'all can see when this thing turns on or not in the video. But yeah, definitely would buy one of these. I'll put it in the link in the description. If you don't have one, the paperclip hack is still a pretty good thing to know. I mean, I thought it was a neat trick anyway. But that's that. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more tricks and hacks.